Vote of thanks is always a very good, special kind of an opportunity when you have the last word. So I have no intention to summarize all the great thought that you heard from the chief guest and other dignitaries, and I'm sure all of you are substantially benefited from the current topic that is being discussed today. You see, when I looked at this topic of the conference, which really has 4 operative words: responsible innovation and sustainable economy. So I'm trying to distinguish between these 4 words and pick it up on a regular basis and see what my thought processes are in that regard. The first word is responsible, another one is sustainable, and they are actually definitional kind of words describing what kind of innovation it should be, what kind of economy it should be. They're more adjectives as part of the English grammar. So when you say responsible, actually it brings to your mind several kind of thoughts about the interpretation of this word. Responsible in a particular context would mean what your duties and responsibilities, your dharma. And another way is to perform your duties in a responsible manner. So you look at that kind of a distinction between how you interpret the word responsible. I'm responsible for a particular task. And am I doing this task in a responsible manner? I think this is where the crucial part of the interpretation of these words come in. And when we talk about responsible innovation, then I think it becomes far more important for us to be able to make sure that whatever we are doing in the course of our normal functions and normal duties, is it being done in a responsible manner or not? You see, there is one particular aspect which was obviously brought into discussion at the policy level, at the government level, at the international universal level, the interpretation of the word innovation. But it seems to me that innovation is something that is an integral part of human existence. Each one has to innovate constantly. And I think that's the secret to progress. Each one of us, in the place that we operate, we have the freedom to innovate, and we actually should be innovating. Whether it's a classroom context, we talk about pedagogical innovation strategies. Whether it's a manufacturing unit, whether it's a digital space, I think there's an opportunity for us. So, this is what I want to share with all of you. Each one of you sitting here, in your own limited area of operation, there is a huge scope for us to innovate constantly. And I think this is where your cognitive capacity of human beings comes into operation. And if you're not doing that, that means we're not utilizing our intellectual space. We are wasting it away. So that's, I think, the most important part. And if we are able to reflect upon our task, our responsibilities, our objectives ultimately, and the various instruments that we have to achieve that objective, and I think we bring in that kind of consciousness and awareness, it is well nigh possible for each one of us to innovate all the time, constantly. You just imagine our country of 140 crore people. If each one of us brings about 1% productivity, enhancements of productivity through innovative measures, what's going to be the growth prospect of this country? That is fantastic. Just think about that. I've this famous quote that ordinary people do different things, but great people do things differently. So I think we need to bring innovation. Actually is doing things differently. If I'm doing the same thing over and over again, I'm not able to get the required results. I must shift gears and see what other kind of a possibility of action that can bring about a better productivity, better change. And that's what in a management jargon you talk about out-of-box thinking. You start thinking differently and you start bringing that kind of... So that's, I think, is the most important part. As I said, this is something each one of us can, as a takeaway, can possibly follow that particular process. Responsible and sustainability also has a symbiotic relationship. I think very foundational statement for sustainability of any kind, is coined in that particular phrase called responsible consumption. You see, each one of us, human beings, animals, are nothing but consumers. We're all consumers, keep on consuming all the time. We consume water, we consume air, we consume food, we consume all kinds of things from this planet. And that consumption, if it can be done with a responsible manner, it will lead to sustainability. And unfortunately, in the last several years, ever since Industrial Revolution started happening, this word, especially the developed countries, I must say that, people in the developed countries, whether in Europe or in America, I have no hesitation making this statement, they were responsible fairly and squarely for damaging the entire environment beyond certain redemption level. And I think, they possibly cannot be talking about holier than thou attitude. Even today, there is a strong resistance on the part of developed countries not to allow the third world countries or developing countries to rise to that level. Because I think it's important for us to note that point. Rich people, rich countries, rich nations, rich societies are squarely responsible for damaging the entire environment. And I think that's something we all must take note of. I was reading a statement by Oxfam America, and startling facts that came to my mind. 1% of the world's population, 1% of the world's population, rich people, the combined wealth is twice as much the combined wealth of remaining people in the world. Isn't it shocking? Absolutely. 1%, that means 8 crore people, their combined wealth is more than the remaining, if you're talking about 800 crores population, more than 792 crores people. Is that sustainable? Are we talking about sustainability? What are we talking about when you talk about sustainable economy? So, important thing is, therefore, if we're talking about sustainable economy, it has to be inclusive. It has to be governed by the concept of equity and equality. I think this is also where, leave aside the rich and the national different countries, but I think at our level also, we need to think whether are we creating opportunities in terms of social inclusion, in terms of getting more and more people into that particular mainstream. And this is a responsibility rests with each of us. On sustainable or responsible consumption, Ravi Shankar Prasad ji did mention about a statement by Gandhiji that enough resources available in this world for the need but not for the greed. I invite you to all, most of you must be watching the television in Discovery and Animal Planet and learn it from the animals. They're driven by need, they're not driven by greed. The only human is an animal. It constantly not only eat today, but also store for tomorrow and subsequent generations. That's not sustainability. Immediate thing that all of us can do, reduce our consumption. I mean, that's kind of a takeaway that all of you can have from this conference. Apart from talking about great ideas and discussing and writing papers, reduce your consumption of all kinds, maybe by 10%, 25%. And see the kind of resources that are available for this world, much more. We have, according to one study again, planet Earth has adequate resources to sustain 4 billion people. We already are 8 billion. So the amount of pressure, amount of strain, amount of stress, because whatever we eat today is available to us by a process of rejuvenation, maybe a year later, 2 years later, whatever. Whatever apple that you're eating today, probably same apple would be available to you 2 years later down the line. That's a great manufacturing capability of planet. But it also has its own limitation. If you're consuming 2 apples today and not leaving anything for tomorrow, then it's going to be a problem. So I think 2 takeaways I shall suggest for all of you. In fact, we keep on eating much more than we actually need. We keep on consuming much more than we keep on wasting much more than what we actually need. Again, the classic example is America. A great country, very powerful, high GDPs. but the biggest waster of resources also at the same time. And I think we need to be aware of these facts. Let us reduce our intake of all that we are doing by 10%, increase it by 20%, 25%. You shall conserve and you shall be more healthy. I can show you that. And secondly, whatever space that you're operating on, whatever work that you're doing, examine how you can innovate. How can you bring about a change? There's scope, as I mentioned earlier, in every activity, every area of excellence that you're working on. There is, and make an incremental increase. You don't really have to leapfrog. Make an incremental increase. That's the Japanese experiment, by the way. Japan, they used that incremental kind of process, and you can all see where they are. So let's all do it in an incremental manner. And I said 140 crores, one increment would make a huge difference in the entire world. I think that is, to me, a better understanding of the responsible innovation and a sustainable economy. Thank you very much, all of you. And thank again the speakers, all of you present here for attending this conference. Thank you.